All right, so to our agenda and top of the agenda, this is the biggest move to set up the trade period. There are going to be a few along the way before it actually opens, but none as formative, none as ground-shaking really as what's happened today, with Adam Saad telling Essendon he wants out and he wants to be traded to Carlton. So he played 3 years on the Gold Coast and he bought into the dream at Essendon. He was sold the vision, and 3 years later he doesn't believe in it anymore. The offers were comparable. Tom Morris's stuff is really interesting that he's posted at foxsports.com.au around culture and clarity. If this was a bellwether moment, as it felt to me, for a player who had a choice between believing still in what was being sold at Essendon or wanting out for the vision elsewhere, then the vote is heavily against Essendon.
Oh, massively so. Yeah, and Essendon will put a spin on it and they'll have their own outpouring about Adam Saad over the next 24 hours. There's no doubt about that. But for a club that is being questioned and criticised over the last many years, but especially this year in the transition, this is a very, very, very big negative towards the culture and the direction of what at this football club. Yep. And what is the direction? He's 26 years of age. You don't have players walking out at 26 when they've got a 5-year offer on the table from Essendon. Carlton put a 5-year offer, and congratulations to Carlton. They're terrific, absolutely terrific get by that football club to smell the blood and the water and go for their player, and then at the end come out with that player who's going to sit there and play on a half-back line for the next 5 years. I mean, that's awesome. But at the same time, Gerard, this is a real problem from Essendon, because is this the first or the last? Is Joe Danaher going to come back in 3 days' time and say, I'm out as well? And people, well, that's two 26-year-olds going out. And so Ben Rutten, the coach, and Xavier Campbell, the CEO, and the football department, I mean, they've got to ask themselves, have they got a cultural problem at that football club? And they can't gloss over it. They've actually got to sit down and put it on the agenda. What are we doing out here? So, yeah, major blow. So
Essendon says a suitable trade, so it's Pistols at 12 paces as a starting point, which is not unexpected given that he is a valuable asset and it is Carlton and he's not a free agent. So
they got pick 7. Yes. Would you expect that to be the fair deal?
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think Carlton could contemplate getting this deal done without pick 7.
Yeah, well, you know what Essendon's like. They'll probably ask for pick 7 and something else.
Well, they probably will.
Well, he's close to All-Australian. I think pick 7's round about what it should be. Now, he's an interesting player, Adam. You know, and Tommy's touched on it. Tommy Morris has touched on it in his piece tonight. He was a player that is said to not like strong feedback. Said that I want to be a dashing halfback flanker. That's well and good if you're playing. And don't get me wrong, I'd like to see Adam Saad still at Essendon. He's a terrific player. But in a team sport, I'd like to be the dashing halfback flanker. Oh, no, don't tell me that. I don't like that sort of feedback. Hey, champ, if you're going to do that, go and play tennis. This is a team sport. Sometimes you've got to do things for your team that you don't want to do, but you do it because of the leaders, the coach, have asked you to do something. So, I mean, they're only minor, those things. But when someone leaves, they become bigger issues than what they are. Essendon are probably saying, you know, you've got to do the team things. He says, well, I want to run. No, I'm not happy. I'm going. Well, you know, at the end of the day, to borrow Mark McClure, ta-ta. From his point of view, right, ta-ta, I'm going over here and I'm going to enjoy my footy. And Essendon says, OK, go on, we move on.
And hey, big spenders, so Carlton have got Zach Williams and Adam Saad. How are they spending their cash to your eye?
Well, that's around about 1.5 million between two.
Probably a little bit more, I reckon.
I was just being conservative there, Gerard. So there's the headline. Waitley reckons Blues are paying 1.7 million. Oh, it's a lot of money, but they've picked up a dashing halfback flanker, and they've picked up a halfback flanker in Zach Williams, who wants to play midfield. So any thoughts that Carlton fans, the Carlton are going to play conservative football next year have been thrown out the window, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, this is what
the
it
way.
Is. And the one thing I'll say about the finances in these things is you have to pay what it takes to get blokes out. So if you choose a bloke, you pay more to get them out.
Yes, you do.
It doesn't actually matter what they're worth. You pay to get them out. So they'll be zippy.
One
that's
word
for sure.
I spoke a bit then. One sentence on Essendon, in your opinion.
No, so I'm a big believer. This was a bellwether moment. This was a guy you brought in and sold the dream, and this guy 3 years later no longer believes in the dream. So it doesn't matter what we think on the outside. This is someone from within your culture who doesn't believe in the direction that you are taking any longer. So I'm a bit of a believer, and I was last year. The people who want out of Essendon, let them go. Let them go and do it all now, because the pain of dragging it on over years hasn't worked. Get it all done now and then figure out what you've got and build into it from there. Jack Viney, who was a free agent at 26, he's recommitted for 5 years to Melbourne.
Well, when the stories... Problem is some of our generation. When stories appear about clubs chasing players, I look at it and go, oh, yeah, possibility. Jack Viney leaving Melbourne. Personally, no, that ain't happening. So I didn't really follow it after that. So am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised.
No,